Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Today's tip is to finish old projects before you start new. That's actually something I need to get better at. I was making the kids tongue drums, so I do woodworking. It's my hobby. And I saw this thing on how you can make tongue drums. Got the miter saw out and got the jigsaw out and designed it and got the Forstner bits ready. And it was just too cold. And so the wood kept cracking funny, and so a tongue drum, it's basically like a wooden box, and then like there's like these little I don't know, keys, I guess you could say. Think more like a xylophone glockenspiel type thing. You can hit it with a mallet, and it's really cool. And they weren't going to be like the super expensive wood. So I don't have like some super expensive. I've seen some people make these out of like really rare wood that you get from Africa that's like $100 a linear foot or something like that. Because it's, like an endangered species or something like that. Like there's huge problems with it not being available anymore. And I didn't do that. Like it's just I went with the simple pine because it's for kids. Well, one of the kids is actually a teenager who's a percussionist. But I think they'll be able to help their brother with it, so it'll be good. But the weather turned, so now I'm going to be finishing the tongue drums. I was hoping to be finished again already, but gosh, it's been such a weird spring. So now I'm going to be working. I'm going to get those finished this summer. I got all the buckets cleaned. Tomorrow I am doing, I'll do a video on this too. I'm making self-watering planters. So that'll be done tomorrow. And then I decided to go with like more of a container garden, and instead of destroying the whole yard, because I would have had to spend like $1,000 on soil, and I got the buckets for free, and I have the soil is, I spent I think around $50-ish for the soil. I got a combination of like some nicer potting mix and some like cheaper potting mix, and then some PVC and these like little things. Well, you'll see in the video. So I'm gonna finish those, and that'll be a project done. But right now, I have my deck is covered in buckets that like, buckets and bags of soil. It just looks like a mess. But it's very overwhelming. And if you have other projects to finish and then you start spending money and working on new projects, one, you're going to get behind. Two, you're going to end up throwing out the old project when you give up on it. Oh, so sorry. Three, it's going to be a waste of materials at some point, or materials will get old or whatever. There's just a lot of challenges that can come with not I'm sorry, with not finishing projects. Your space becomes cluttered, then you're buying more organizational materials or whatever. So tomorrow I am going to do the buckets. I'm going to get all of that done. But I've decided I will buy things to finish up whatever project I need to. So I don't think I'll need anything for the tongue drums. I may need something for the solar oven, though I think I have everything I need. I will need to buy a new door, but that's a different story. Um, so as I need things to finish up the project, sure, but I intend on instead using what I have and finishing the projects so that one, my space is more clear, two, I am not overwhelmed. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish all my art projects. Some of them will be filmed. Some of them aren't art projects. Like I'll do a video on the solar oven. I'll do a video on the self-watering planters, because I'll do some videos on my garden, I'm sure. But instead of taking on yet another huge project, because gosh, I take on a lot. That's like my thing. I feel like I constantly have to be pushing myself, and then I hit my, oh crud, I've pushed so hard and now I'm behind. So it sucks. It's like definitely a personality defect. But right now I am feeling very overwhelmed. Incredibly overwhelmed. I'm trying to figure out my schedule. As a result, I'm eating like crap. I am not sleeping and tired, both cold and hot constantly. It's like I'm cold and then I finally get warm and then I get hot and then I finally cool down and then I'm cold. Like there's no, I'm comfortable for all of about 3 minutes at a time. Which is probably part of either my messed up nervous system or my messed up vascular system. Maybe both. But the fact that I've eaten like crap hasn't helped. But as your mind, I mean, mine definitely gets this way, and it happens to a lot of people. And your mind will get too busy, and you'll like get overcrowded, and you'll forget this or forget that. Like then you've got too much going on. So instead of taking on a new project, or instead of trying to figure out or do a new hobby or whatever, finish with what you've got. Remember that hobby you absolutely thought was going to be something you loved and had to do last summer? Before you take on a new one this summer, finish the old one. No, I do know some people who are incredibly crafty, who can like knit and crochet and they do Cricut and stencil and paint and Inkscape and all sorts of things. And I know people who can take on a lot of projects because like that is who they are. So they're like constantly growing as a person. And as they're learning a new craft, like they're still like, so maybe they're learning to crochet, but they already had the yarn anyways for knitting, or I don't know, you get the point. So I know this is definitely advice I need to take for myself, and I am curious to see how many projects I get done. So right now it is the beginning of May. I have all my videos posted until the beginning of July, so I have May to June to July. I have about 2 months worth of videos posted. So I'm kind of curious how many projects I can finish in the next 2 months, uh, and how much I can get done by the beginning of July, while also throwing my kids' graduation party and everything else. So we'll see. Gosh, it's going to be a busy summer. My kid better help. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.